Hey all everybody, Angie B here. Today's vlog topic is one that has been a long time in coming, as I'm sure many of my Flist will agree. The original GQ motherfucker, Cary Grant. Hence the oversized and ridiculous fedora that doesn't really fit me. Anyway, so Cary Grant. If you've never seen a Cary Grant movie, you have not truly lived. Cary Grant is one of the most suave, debonair, romantic, smooth Lotharios ever. There's a lot of rumors that have been going around for several years, ever since he really broke out in Hollywood, that Cary was actually bisexual, which I can totally understand and agree with, because when you have that much animal magnetism and just ooh-ness, how can you limit yourself to one sexuality, to one gender? I would feel almost cheated if it, came out that he was just straight or just gay. It's kind of the way that I feel about John Barrowman. There's just too much pretty and too much sexual magnetism to just be contained to one gender. I feel like Cary Grant, of course he had to be bisexual because he was just so novel and so elegant and so pretty, and everybody needs to have a piece of that. Okay, so, Cary Grant. Awesome actor from the golden age of Hollywood. Had his biggest movies in the 40s, the 50s, and then there were a few in the early 60s. Died relatively young, had one daughter, a lot of failed relationships, but man, oh man, did he have sizzling, smoking chemistry with all of his leading ladies. And believe you me, this guy acted opposite of some of the creme de la creme, the true beauties of the golden age of Hollywood. I've got a stack of movies here that are favorite Cary Grant films of mine. Sadly, I don't have as many Cary films as I'd want. I wish that I had more. I've got Father Goose, which is when he's opposite Leslie Caron, who is one of the greatest actresses and dancers ever. So I love that movie. Notorious with Ingrid Bergman. Oh god, this movie! It's a Hitchcock film, so of course it's just bristling with tension and intrigue and people pretending to be something they're not, and it's just a great movie. Oh my gosh. His Girl Friday, opposite Rosalind Russell. This movie is fantastic. This is one of my favorite movies of all time. Ashley Brown, I know, will agree with me that he does an awesome turn in this. This really shows just how much humor and self-deprecating humor at that Cary's got. His repartee with Rosalind Russell is just machine gun staccato, rapid fire. It's awesome. Little factoid for you also, His Girl Friday is the first film to actually employ natural speaking, natural dialogue, where people talk over each other in the course of a conversation. Before then, all movies, someone would talk, there'd be a pause, someone else would talk. In that movie, people were talking over each other, there were conversations going on in the background. It was great. To Catch a Thief with Grace Kelly. I love Grace Kelly. When I was a kid, I did so many biographical papers on Grace Kelly, it's ridiculous. To me, Grace Kelly represents some of the most fantastic elegance and beauty and grace that has ever come together in one human being. So then when you put her with Cary, and you have all of this intrigue, and there's a mystery, and there's, dashing, daring do, and it's another Hitchcock film, it's fantastic. The screen explodes. Houseboat with Sophia Loren, who is also one of the most gorgeous people to ever live. I love this movie because I love ridiculous romances. This is the kind of romance I can get behind, people. If you remember from my vlog where I just bashed on romances and rom-coms, this is the kind of romance I can get behind. Because even though, yeah, it's kind of a crazy, wacky plot, oh, well, she's, his housekeeper, and oh, they fall in love, blah, blah, blah. I still love it because it's more about the characters and the chemistry, and there's great dialogue and humor, and it's just, it's so good. I love this movie. Also, a little factoid / challenge for you guys here. If you guys really love Cary Grant, if you love Sophia Loren, if you love Houseboat, and you don't own a copy, or if you just like to actually own your own Cary Grant film, let me know, because I have an extra copy of Houseboat on DVD. It's this exact same copy, in fact. And if you beg really nicely, I might just send it to you. So the first person to comment either on, the YouTube page or on my journal, and leaves me their address and pertinent information, I will send you your houseboat. Then I've got Grass is Greener with Deborah Kerr. Now this is kind of a lesser-known film, I think, even though it's got a great cast. Gene Simmons, Robert Mitchum. It's one of those films that doesn't really get talked about. And it's not a fantastic movie, but it is really fun, and it's far and away superior to most of the rom-coms that are coming out today. I really like Grass is Greener, and I think it's cute and goofy and crazy. Cary is amazing in it. You should check it out. I really wish I owned The Philadelphia Story, which is probably my favorite Cary Grant movie ever. I have Charade somewhere, but I can't remember where I put it. I wish that I had People Will Talk, which is another great one. Basically, any time you get Cary Grant together with actors or actresses like Jimmy Stewart, Katharine Hepburn, Ingrid Bergman, it's amazing. It's a great time to be had. So, what is just so damn appealing about Cary Grant, at least to moi? I love Cary Grant because, yes, he's a gorgeous man to look at. He's elegant and refined, and in most of his roles, he's very dapper, wearing nice sharp suits and fedoras, and, he's just a very pretty man. But the great thing about Cary is that he's not at all a one-dimensional sort of actor. Yes, he has his roles that he lent more heavily towards, he was most often the romantic hero, but he also had a great talent with comedy. Watch Arsenic and Old Lace, which is probably, I'd say that one more than Philadelphia Story is my favorite Cary Grant film ever, because it's so wacky and so inspired. The slapstick in that movie is fantastic, and just the fact that this guy, who's elegant and gorgeous and, a leading man sort of guy, is willing to throw himself across chairs and do crazy double takes and freak out, I love it. The guy had such a great funny bone. He wasn't, too stuck up on himself. He made fun of himself all the time. There are plenty of movies with Cary Grant where they make jokes about someone named Archibald Leach. Factoid for you, that's Cary Grant's actual name. Archibald Leach. How ridiculous is that? Cary Grant is far and away superior. Cary also was one of the most, witty, intelligent, well-spoken people out there. There are so many great quotes from Cary. One of my favorites is, "I pretended to be somebody I wanted to be, and finally I became that person, or he became me." And then I've got another quote right here, which I absolutely love. This was on a Cary Grant collection that I saw at work the other day. "Everyone wants to be Cary Grant. Even I want to be Cary Grant." I think that just shows just how, down-to-earth this guy was. Yes, he was a star. Yes, he made millions of dollars. Yes, he went to all the red carpet things and was nominated for Oscars and awards and stuff. But he was so down-to-earth about it. He didn't let himself get too stuck up and pretentious. He always thought of himself as kind of just, a guy that had struck it lucky. I also just love watching him in movies where he's the sweet guy, where he's, well-intentioned and protective. I love watching him boozy and aggressive. I love watching him scheming and manipulative. Cary just has so many facets. He can pull off just about any character, and I love all of his movies so, so much. Cary Grant, for me, is what Hollywood is missing. A lot of people compare George Clooney to Cary Grant and say that he's kind of like the next Cary Grant, or the closest thing we've had to Cary Grant since Cary Grant. And in some ways, I can, concede that and agree with that, because he is very dapper. He does have the sort of look and the swagger and the charm and everything. But to me, we haven't had an actor that's really come close to Cary's scope and talent. We need someone who not only is drop-dead gorgeous and, wonderful to look at, but someone who can also do comedy, someone who can do action, someone who can do intrigue and mystery, someone who can do everything with equal aplomb and equal skill. That's what I love about Cary Grant, is that he could do anything. He really could. Also, way, way, way pretty. Oh, even when he's being goofy, or even when he's being a hungover, drunken Father Goose, that man, you could not hide that handsome under a bushel, man. I love Cary Grant. I wish we could get another Cary Grant. Hope you guys have enjoyed this vlog. Hope you tune in next time. Check you later.